Hey there, Christopher here. Today I want to talk to you guys about what's going on politically. And I really don't want to have to go into this, but it's prevalent and it's pervasive and it's eating away at the body of Christ, whether the body of Christ realizes it or not. Over and over again, I'm seeing so many posts. Obama this, Obama that. And hey, before the elections, I was just as guilty. But the Bible is really clear on this. Particularly in 1 Peter, 2nd chapter. We aren't to be against the leaders. Even those who are the masters over their slaves. And there's a reason for that. And that's because we're supposed to overcome that. We're not political candidates for Jesus Christ in this world. We're not political pundits. We're priests and we're ambassadors. An ambassador does not rule over a people. And yet what's happening is there are divisions being drawn much deeper than anything you can imagine by the things people are saying against Obama. And truthfully, it would have been the same had it been Romney. I've said this before and I'll say it again. The one thing that was made apparent to me in this election is there was no Christian candidate we could give the benefit of the doubt to. It was either Obama or Romney. Third-party candidates were just a distraction, in my opinion, and it still keeps you involved in the political monster that is. So what's happening? Well, people are getting frustrated. They're getting angry. They're filling their hearts with hatred for a person they don't even know. We know what they do publicly. We know what they enact as policies. We know that we disagree with those policies. But our bickering and our fighting and our backstabbing and our backbiting does nothing except for inflame the fury of others. When you post something against Obama, you're either going to make someone else hate him more or you're going to make someone else hate you more. And that's not keeping the peace so far as it is within your own control. I know this is tough. Jesus never said that it was going to be a walk through the rose garden. But we have to disengage from the whole political scene. We have to avoid getting into the whole government argument because the government is sinful. Now, I heard somebody say, well, all governments are sinful and we still have to participate in them. And my thought was, why? If we know they're all sinful, why bother? Stay apart from this world. You know, don't become part of it. Don't make yourself a tool for them to use. Now, I was talking to another friend, and he's really big on these FEMA camps. He thinks that one day the government's going to round us up and put us in FEMA camps. And I was wondering, God, why have you told me to disengage from this whole election thing when it was going on? And I'll tell you what, the night that Obama got elected, I'm not going to lie, I felt a little bit of disappointment because I was curious to see what Romney would do, even though I don't support Mormonism. But I didn't feel rage. I didn't feel like the world was crumbling down around me. And I certainly didn't feel like America was going to be any worse off, because America's going to be what America's going to be no matter who's in office. And yet so many of my brothers and sisters, they're torn up in this. And they're not coming out of it. My friend, who thinks that the FEMA camps are destined to be used, brought up a good point. All this political angst, all it can really lead to is rebellion. And what do you think the government's going to do if large bodies of people start to rebel against it? You'll see martial law, and you'll see citizens being arrested, and just as soon as those prisons are full, you can believe the camps are going to start getting filled up. And how do you think they're going to determine who belongs in a camp? Could very well be political affiliation. Could be the actions that you take because of your political affiliation. But either way, it's going to be a trap. Now maybe we'll all be caught up in it, and it won't matter if you voted or not. But maybe it will. Maybe a lot of it will have to do with where your heart's at and how you view what's going on. I know people think I'm crazy, but look at how Jesus and the apostles and the disciples after them dealt with the Roman Empire. There were no rebellions. They either fled the scene or took the punishments. And they did so for the name of Christ, for the sake of Christ. How can we do any less? Brothers and sisters, you hear the term wake up all the time. And waking up is great. But once you're awake, what you do is very important. Well, until next time, happy Jesus Day. God bless and peace out.